I just want to take a minute to talk about how excited I am about our upcoming conference in Taos. Taos is a very special place, and also for me and for many of us, the Taos Institute is a very special institute. Taos has kind of a spiritual sensibility to it, very artistic place, and has a lot of history. And I think it's not surprising or coincidental that the Institute started there in Taos. And so it's very exciting for us to be returning 20 years later, having done what seems to be the impossible. I don't think any of us as founders ever imagined that we would become an institute like we are today. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things I'm particularly excited about. I'm excited to see how we've shifted in our work around social construction. In the beginning, we started as the Taos Institute, the connection was really to bring constructionist ideas into practice. That was our very first conference, talking specifically about organizational contexts and therapeutic contexts. And that was a huge shift 20 years ago, because prior to that, social constructionist ideas had remained largely academic conceptual ideas. And this push to put the ideas into practice was really what we've organized ourselves around. What excites me most about coming to Taos in April is pushing to the next extreme. How do we not just put these ideas into practice, but how do we push the ideas themselves? How do we move beyond the practice realms that we've been operating in? How do we envision new relational modes of being in politics, for example, in global issues, in everything from intimate relationships to the global? I think that these are the questions that we'll be addressing. It's fun to look back and do some reminiscing about the last 20 years of Taos, but I think that our conference is really this time focused on where do we need to be going and how can we be more of a presence in the world. And that, to me, is enormously exciting to try to think about pushing the limits. And the other thing that's quite exciting is that for the first time we'll be offering a virtual opportunity for this conference, which allows us to engage with people all over the world who can't be with us, and that's extremely exciting, and also puts us right on the edge of how do we do more of this sort of virtual learning and virtual gathering, which is something that I think we all at the Taos Institute have a great interest in trying to pursue in a bigger way than we have been able to thus far. So this is really huge to be able to do this, and quite interesting, and already I've heard from so many people who are just delighted to be able to be part of this virtually. So some of the things that I'm most curious to see what will happen is what emerges from our conversations about very particular social practices, such as healthcare, something I'm quite interested in. How do we move beyond the current status of healthcare? How do we introduce alternatives to maintaining healthy societies, healthy communities, healthy people, healthy families, both in terms of physical health and mental well-being. Also, being an academic, I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done in education, and particularly now that we have so much virtual education going on, I think we really need to consider what should we be doing? What should higher education in particular look like in the 21st century? I think it needs to look a bit different, in fact, radically different. So these are some of the conversations, the issues that I think about all the time. I'm just very eager to engage in conversation with others about these ideas, and hope that we come out with more than just big ideas, but plans for action. That is really my own personal goal that I'm setting for myself, is how do we, leave Taos ready to move and ready to incite new ways of being in the world in all sorts of contexts. So I look forward to seeing people physically present and virtually present. And for those who can't be part of either, we will certainly find lots of ways to share the information from this gathering with the broader community. So thank you. Look forward to it.